Yeah. Jules and Casey.
So you post the easy webinar link, right? Not the Google one, or both.
I posted the easy webinar link. That's the
Yeah,
page where we're streaming from
sure.
for everybody to come in. So I'm posting this right now in my group, and we probably have some people coming in right now. Let me just see if we have any questions. And now remember, everybody, if you're coming in now, just leave your questions. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you can hear us. I'm going to pull myself out of just the screen grab there, and I'm going to share my screen. And then, Jules, I'm going to ask you a series of questions and things like that about Screenflow, about certain things that people might have questions on. So let me come back in after having shared my screen. There we are. Hi, how are you? All right, now I'm gonna unblue box myself. So now it's gonna go back and excuse me, back and forth between the two of us. Just drinking my tea, trying to stay hydrated because I've been battling a little bit of a cold. But how are you, man?
Cheers.
I'm glad that you came on, man. How you doing?
So this will jump back to me right now. Yes,
Yes.
good. It's very good. Yeah, very good to talk to you again. And I'm just imagining what it's like there in LA. It's getting to sort of evening here, gloomy, dark skies, about to rain. What's it like down there?
It is actually, we have it's a little gray at the moment. Usually it's not like this. It's ridiculous. It's always beautiful. It's always sunny. It's a perfect perfect holiday here all the time. But
I
no,
know.
today's a little bit overcast today. So don't worry. We're there. We're a little overcast. Um, so for those who are coming in, it's Casey. I have a cough, so I'm going to be occasionally still coughing. And anytime, it almost sounds like a laugh, but it's a cough. Okay, like it's like this weird dry cough. I think a lot of people are having it right now in LA. I just turned down my bandwidth because I'm pulling a lot of stuff right now. I might be a little fuzzy. That's okay. I just removed some of the bandwidth on the Google Hangout. And if you are here, go ahead and say hi. Just post in on the page that you are here, that you can hear us. Love to hear from you. So just say hi. We have more people coming in. I can see that right now through the door, and we're probably going to get more and more as they see the notification. This is an impromptu Google Hangout to talk all things ScreenFlow and to discuss with Jules, the master of ScreenFlow, all about ScreenFlow Hero and why he decided he created it, why he created it. We're also going to talk about how the different applications ScreenFlow can be used for, how you might need it in your business, and let me know if you are using screen capture software already, if this is your first time with screen capture software, if you have an editing software already. These are things that we'd like to know, and the reason I want to know these things is because I use essentially one software for my editing, for my screen capture, and that is ScreenFlow. That's all I use, and that's why it's always nice to have someone who is a master of ScreenFlow on with us. So we have Jules here. He is the master, and for those who do not know, we have 12 hours left to take advantage of the bonuses that both myself and Jules have rolled in to ScreenFlow Hero. It's about $1,100 worth of bonuses, and I had my bonus page up earlier. One of the bonuses that you can get with ScreenFlow Hero right now is you can get a thank you page video that I will create, that we've created. Okay, it's essentially for conversion. It's essentially to get people to like the page, so that brings in more viral traffic through your webinars, as well as getting them ready to connect with you on a one-on-one level. So by having them share news, that creates this call to action sort of mentality with them. They download a free gift, you get them some awesome insight, and then boom, you're off to the races. So that is one of 4 bonuses that we have. Another one is my YouTube bonus, which is my essentially 4 video series on how to become a YouTube partner, how to add clickable annotations in your videos and things like that, which is really powerful. And what's awesome is you can use Screenflow as it works with that too. That's one of the cool things is that Screenflow, you can edit and put cool little video thumbnails in videos and do all sorts of cool things and add annotations over those videos. And it's just once you tap into both of these, it's like the world becomes your oyster at that point. You really understand direct response marketing, excuse me, as it relates to video. So I am very excited about all those things. Again, because this was so impromptu, we have more people coming through the door. And if you're here, go ahead and put a comment in the comment box below this video. And Jules, do you kind of use that with the same thing? You know how I was talking about the videos in the videos? I know that you know how to do that, but anytime someone sees something like that, to me, they're always like, "Oh my God, how did you do that? How did you put a video inside a video?"
Yeah,
It's
no, totally. I do use it sometimes. I think it's people are the perception of it when you look at it is, wow, how did you do that? And I think that's what's the great thing about unlocking all these mysteries of video editing is when you come to it, and that's been my challenge, is to put myself in the shoes of people who haven't edited a video before or who aren't massively experienced. And I try and put myself in the shoes, and if you do that, you kind of pick out these things that people want to do, show them how to do it, and once it's learned, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you know how to do it, that's it. You never have to go back again. You know how to do it, and
right.
what you're trying to do here is when people look at your videos, think, "Wow!" You want the wow factor. Wow, did you make that? That's really cool. That's exciting, and so that's what I've been trying to do. And a little bit, not that you asked me, but a little bit about me. I won't talk too much about myself, but a lot of these things that I try and teach, I picked up actually in TV because before I got online and started creating info products and doing online marketing, got quite a long background working in television in the UK for channels like MTV, BBC, and part of my job then was trying to engage people, a TV audience, and a TV audience is extremely demanding. There's so many channels for them to jump off and watch. That people are, TV channels are fighting for people's attention now, much as you might be fighting for attention online. And I realized that a lot of it is about creating something that stimulates people visually, that engages them, that entertains, and that informs all at the same time. That's TV for you. If you watch any kind of reality show or what might be called infotainment type show, you've got this balance of engagement, entertainment, and valuable information. And I suppose having made these TV shows and directed them, I would then sit in the edit suite with some professional editors for weeks and weeks as the show was being edited and instruct them what I wanted and picking up all these tips and learning from them. And I just realized that a lot of success with video is actually comes down to the editing as well. And you can really take something which you might think, wow, my subject is a little bit boring or this video is a bit dull. Well, you can actually transform it when it comes to the editing. And I guess that's what excites me about editing and ScreenFlow as well.
Yeah, it seems like, as soon as you, like when a raw video is so raw. And, we all, excuse me, this cough is killing me. Oftentimes we don't see how creative it could possibly become. We don't see the potential of it. And it's funny, the end product of a video, and before you even do any of the editing, I mean, it's night and day. The nice thing is that editing software just allows you to first off to create a story, obviously, as you mentioned. It lets you remove all the bad that might be happening in your video itself. If for some reason you have what I do personally, which is stutter a lot. I try to take out as many stutters as I can. while at the same time still trying to keep who I am. Um, but the nice thing is that there are nice tricks that you can do with screen capture, or rather with editing software. And when you start thinking about the final product, it actually makes the video creation so much easier. Like when I start thinking about, okay, if I'm going to shoot a video, I want to have a rough script, and if I mess something up, what I'll do is I'll slow down instead of speed up, where a lot of our normal reactions is to speed up. Like for instance, we'll say a phrase, and if I messed it up, I'll say it faster. But with editing software, the nice thing is, um, you know, you can cut out a certain amount, and it's about where to cut out and how to cut out the parts that you don't want. And so these longer pauses, or these resets, if you will, to where you're like, okay, maybe you'll clap or something, and that you're going to start over. Instead of, if you mess up, like, hey guys, it's Casey. Hey guys, and instead of like that so fast, which
Yeah.
for you afterwards as the editor, you have to go in and click and say, okay, Casey did this. Hey guys, and it's these quick little bursts. Instead of those, having a more space in between all of your, say, what I call snippets, like your just ideas, so that it's just more relaxed, it's easier to edit, and it saves you more time. So I think that's the thing that we all have to start thinking about when editing video, is we have to calm ourselves and understand that the editing process is the biggest aspect of the video creation itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make a good point there about a lot of people don't go back and do this more finer tuning of their videos. They record the video and they just let it go out. Whereas if you go over it again, you can actually improve it vastly. And case in point would be ums and ahs and hesitations. Like when you watch a TV show and you watch like a reality show, everybody seems to speak so well, right? All their sound bites are beautifully formed. When they're interviewed, they just sound so articulate. But that's not the case at all. And I've done some of these reality shows. People struggle in their interviews. They start feeling faint. They have to go to the bathroom and come back. They get nervous, like everybody does. But what makes the magic is that they can be trimmed down. And one great tip here is just using B-roll, because if you record something and you hesitate and you err on your arm, if you can think about what shots can you do to cover over that, and that could be B-roll of you doing something. If you're a fitness instructor, it could be a workout, or it could be anything, or it could be just slides, or it could be just a full screen with text. If you can think what to layer over the top, that means you can go in to the audio section where you've maybe recorded on camera the video and the audio, and you can just literally get rid of the video because you're going to put something instead of you, and you can just go through the audio and fine cut it, get the ers and the ums out of it, get out the mistakes. And so when it plays back, you'll be on camera, it'll go to some nice screenshot, the audio will carry on beautifully smooth, and everything will be trimmed out, and you'll sound really fluent, and then back to you on camera when you're doing your best work. So if you ever make any mistakes, don't worry about it. If you think about the B-roll, you can actually carry on and realize that in fact you might only be on camera 3 or 4 times during a short video, and the rest of it might be slides, screen capture, whatever. So that really kind of helps you be more relaxed when you're delivering your content. And the other point you made there about breaths, very important. A lot of people, they maybe record themselves on camera, or record some voiceover or interview, whatever it is, and they just edit it all together, so everything becomes very tight together, because
Yeah.
it's natural when you're editing just to cut the gap, close it. You end up with very not enough time for the viewer to hear and absorb it. So really, when you do that, you want to space out your clips, so you don't want them all joined together. You want to literally move them, so a little gap there, and think about what could you put between there just to let that breathe. So again, if you're using screen captures or B-roll, it can be you speaking, then you can extend that little B-roll like a second longer, so there's a little gap, and then it goes back to your voice or you. So definitely think about those silences, because silences are incredibly important. And in fact, silences are when people will actually lean forward and listen to what's next. What's coming next must be important. So a time for reflection, a time to refocus, and then they're thinking, yeah, that's great, now what? So I hope that was useful. And
Yep,
did,
that's. Hold on one second.
then you can extend that little B-roll. I caught you out with my silence.
I know, I know. I'm sorry. I was on mute because I was refreshing
All right.
this
No, no.
page. I was just checking on some comments that we were having. No, but I did have the reaction. The silence
Yes.
was really good. It kind of did take me. I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It wasn't intentional, but it just came out. So yeah, the silence was, huh? What's going on next? So definitely
yeah.
use that, and also use that with music. If you watch some really good videos or TV or whatever, you'll see that sometimes the music will be going and then it will stop dead, and then again that stop in music is a reset of attention. So no need to have back to back. Like don't wallpaper your music throughout everything. If you're going to use music, no need to wallpaper it. Use it in sections. And I mean, what I teach is using short, more than one track sometimes. So rather than having just one track, think about two or three tracks that fit the different moods, the different chapters of your video, and then between it have a little bit of silence to give the listener, the viewer, a little bit of a breather, time to reset, to listen deeply to what you're saying, and then bang, kick it back in with some music, because you want to pull these people through your video, right down to the end. Because obviously the end's where that's the business end, right?
Yeah, and I think what the biggest problem that yeah, you want to lead them there, and it's a question of keeping them there the entire time. One of my biggest problems is that I sometimes tend to use music the entire time, all the way through, and it's always like, okay, what level do I keep the music at? Like I've been testing around and playing with like, okay, having it louder in the beginning, softer as I intro myself, and then trying to come up with different places where the music will come in that create that different mood. But I'm bad at that. I'm so far I'm like using the same clips, and I'm like, okay, I have to really see where these beats are in this video, where the new train of thought is, and then start a new bit of music, for that bit of thought, that train of thought. Um, and I like that's what I saw when I went into Screenflow Hero that you have in your course. I saw that a lot of it was, excuse me, as it relates to music, and you have all of those music tracks that you also have rolled into the course itself, which is pretty awesome. I used one. I was like, okay, I'm going to take this and just put it into my video. And it's cool because it's like this, it's just a good beat background, but it totally changes the mood. And it's important to do so that your audience doesn't just feel like it's just like this drone going all the way through. I love the silence though. Sometimes not the silence, but without music. I like like sometimes when it's without the music, and then coming into the music if like there's another storyline coming about. Do you have any like things that you do specifically, like like when you do B-roll, should you have music? Do you not have to have music? Do you have like a certain methodology? I know that you teach a lot of the methodologies in Screenflow Hero, but something that you could maybe share to everybody who might be on right now.
Well, it kind of goes back to what I was saying. I think when you write your script, you're thinking about these chapters within your video, and they seem to sort of just happen really. But if you follow any rough kind of script outline, and I give one inside of the course, my own script, often it will be in chapters. So you'll get like the backstory part of the video, about you, about who you are. Perhaps you might get the social proof section. That feels like its own little chapter. Yeah. You might get the training section where you're actually giving some training content within your video. You may get the build up when you're starting to make the offer and showing all the features of your product and your service and getting people to call action. It sort of breaks it up into little chapters, much the same as if you watch a TV show. Sorry, I keep going back to TV, but I think there's a lot to learn from that. You'll see
Yeah.
the different scenes. You'll see, like, I don't know, see a reality show, like the girls go shopping, that'll be a little scene, like 2 or 3 minutes, and that'll be like high energy. They're going there, they're shopping, they're talking about, they're doing crazy stuff. Then it'll be like, bang, back at the house, and the girls are getting worried about their new dates. And so they're Yeah, yeah, I might get carried away here, but the mood
Yeah,
drops, right? It's thoughtful, it's reflective, and they're wondering about what's going to happen, you know. So and the videos have the same thing. They have these different moods. So I say choose some music that fits the mood of the various sections of your video and swap it out. You know, don't just choose one track and say, yeah, I think I heard that in an elevator once. That'll do. And don't put that
yeah,
under the whole video for 3.5 minutes because you're losing the impact of all these different moods. And you want to use the mood because when you're being thoughtful about like, you know, how did you come to create this amazing business and you know you're being reflective, that gets people in that reflective mood about themselves, like how am I doing in my business, what could I do to improve it. When it comes to
right,
like you're building up saying, guess what, in my training course you get this, you get this, you get that, you get this, you want to build up the energy, right? Because you want people to really get fired up and go through and click on your link to sign up to your webinar or to buy your product, whatever it might be, you get your free gift. So you want to build up a bit of energy and bang, you know, even hitting the beat, if you've got a button that pops up or an arrow or
yeah.
anything you can do to, you know, like pull people towards that. So, I mean, music is totally key to this. And I do, yeah, absolutely, I do cover that inside.
I find also like sound effects now are kind of a pretty powerful thing as well. You know, just that just breaking up that utter, you know, monotony of it, just like the droning concept. You know, the um, some now what I've started to do is I've started to add my to my transitions actual sounds, you know, to my transitions. If like I, you know, take myself and fly myself off screen or something like that, you know, I'll add a just a sound just to amp up the quality. And it's something that, you know, it's like what I love about Screenflow is that Screenflow does make it pretty like it's I thought it would be so difficult to do, but once I jumped into ScreenFlow and looking at your course, like things get a lot more like just pinpointed. It's like, okay, this is very doable. In fact, one of our guys who purchased your course already, Lewis or Luis, I think Luis, um, he said, I actually, he's in our Facebook group. He posted in the Facebook group that it was like he went and back and he was redoing all of his videos because of what he learned. And chances are he probably already had those raw files already ready to go. You know, the ScreenFlow raw files. He just went in and did some quick edits in them. You know, just things you can go in and just make it more professional. I think you're right. Mood is really caused by the music and the sound to some degree. The also like obviously the B-roll footage that you can maybe throw in there. But do you ever find that you love one bit of music and you can't seem to get rid of that piece of music, and you're like, do I use this too often in my videos? Do you feel like that at
Yeah,
all?
that's a danger because some tracks are just so easy to work with. They just seem to fit your voice. It's important to find tracks that fit your voice and the pace of
Right.
your voice. And yeah, it's a danger if you're exposing it to the same audience over and over. I think you're probably going to lose some of that effect. But it's interesting if I do see on online a lot of marketers using the same track over and over. There's certain tracks like there's this sort of fashion now for these Apple style music tracks that you see behind the apps and things like that. And when everybody starts using it, then it sort of starts losing the effect. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you've got to be a bit cautious about that. I mean, what I did was I went through some music that's free to use, you know, and I spent a lot of time like tracking down tracks, if I can say that,
Hmm.
that work with voice because it takes a lot of time when you look at a music library going through all the tracks. So many of them are just not suitable. They just feel like they should be in some really bad advert, or they should be in the Hilton Hotel, in the elevator, whatever. They don't feel right. So I spent a bit of time just picking out a few that I've used in the past. And to you guys, they'll probably be fresh. So when you go in there, you know, and whatever niche you're in, there's some tracks in there that you can just literally put in, and your audience won't have heard those before.
Yeah, and you know, it's you're right. You're so right about the music aspect. I have a composer friend, and you know, he writes for TV, music for TV. So he knows how to create music so that it's background. It's sort of like, you know, but it creates that that's just the right atmosphere, the right emotions. And I've been talking to him about trying to get some original tracks from him that I could maybe use. Um, and he actually has some, and so you and I might talk about. We should probably talk about something like that because he has some good original tracks that I was thinking about rolling into some sort of music library of some kind. Um, and maybe that's like some additional bonus that we can offer to the people who come through to Screenflow Hero once my friend Dave creates some original tracks. Those who do come through will be the first to know about those tracks and be able to get that awesome music. Because music, really, seriously, I've had someone do original music for me at one point. And it's nice. It's just nice to like just have that variant. But the music quality that you have in the members area for everyone is great. I put it into my background, and it was just like this. Just kept I don't know, the engine going, so to speak, kept the train running. That the music, and it's nice because they're not these like 2 second clips. They're more like, you know 30-second clips, which are easily editable because those are terrible when you have to do like a 2 second clip and then put all 2 second clips together. This is editing nightmare stuff, guys, that you can avoid with Jules here. But what I tend to do is I'll have like 2 second clip of music, and I'll just repeat it, and then finally have 30 seconds that I can use. Just not the right way to go. Not the
Same
right way
beat
to
over
go.
and over and over. Yeah, no, I tend to go for like 90-second to 2 minute tracks because those are good. A lot of videos we're making nowadays are in the sort of 2 minute range anyway, particularly the sort of opt-in videos and things like that. So I tend to go for
Right.
those, and you can always I show you ways to extend the tracks, make them longer, and keep the ending and things like that. But I think that's important. And going back to what you said a bit earlier about just ScreenFlow, the interface, what's interesting for me is that I don't think that Telestream, who made Screenflow, really realized what they were creating, or realized, or was maybe even still don't, the impact it has with entrepreneurs. Because by
Yeah.
actually simplifying it, it makes it so attractive to use. It's not just a, people often look at it as a screen capture solution. Yeah, it's the first thing you think about when you want to capture your screen. But these days a lot of us are making kind of hybrid videos where we are on camera and we're adding slides or photos or B-roll to them, or we're doing maybe Hangouts and we want to add things later and recordings and all kinds of things. So we're really mixing things up a lot. And a lot of people, when they look at like the higher end editing software, particularly when it comes to their video footage, they get really put off by, I'm talking things like Final Cut Pro right now and Premiere. When you're new to this and you're dealing with a lot of different things going on in your business, faced with a complicated editing software, it's just another thing you've got to learn, and it can put you off a lot. With Screenflow, they've just made it so simple to edit, whether you're shooting like DSLR or iPhone footage or on your camcorder, and mixing it in with the screen captures or text or anything like that. They've made it so simple. Even a child can use it. And funnily enough, my daughter started to use it. She's 9 years old, and she started editing on Screenflow. She just watched me
That's
editing, and she looked at my course a
incredible.
bit, and she's into Minecraft, which is, as I'm sure many of you know, is a massive video game, Minecraft. So she's making Minecraft videos for her channel, YouTube, and it's not just recording a screen. She's starting to put zooms into it. She's putting text that flies in. She's actually creating stories out of the gameplay that she captures, and she's
Wow.
picked it up very quickly how to do all of this and export it. So she can do that, which means that it's a really good entry level. But then I also see another set of people who, they love the simplicity of it, but then they push it even further and they start doing a lot fancier things with it. They start doing a lot more with text with it, and more effects. So it's sort of got that range from this beginner through to people who want to get more advanced without going into the really high-end, more like specialist video editing software.
I mean, that's what's incredible. The sheer fact that your 9-year-old daughter is using it. I personally love the interface, and I'm not very smart when it comes to technology. I'm not. So when I would look at excuse me, when I would look at Final Cut Pro, my brain would just be like, oh wow, there's too many things to look at. I don't, I, it's like Photoshop, and I don't know anything about Photoshop. I would never, I still don't know anything about Photoshop, and that's what I see when I see Final Cut Pro. But when I look at ScreenFlow, ScreenFlow made me feel like an editor, even though I'm not an editor. It's like makes those who don't know how to really do this stuff proficient at it, and it's just because of the layout of it. I had Camtasia for a while, right? When I was more of a PC person in the beginning of the kind of the online world, but Camtasia, it was slightly more difficult to use from my experiences. There was too many like different portals, but when I went into ScreenFlow felt like, okay, it's built for Mac, and it really feels almost like a Mac in the way that they clear out all the things you don't really need, and you have just an easy user interface to start editing your videos. Like I was like right away, I was like, okay, I get what this is. I get this. This is a text box. I can put
Yeah.
this right here. The text box it automatically goes right into the video. So it's like this live editing atmosphere and platform that you can use. And it's just very visual for those of us who are not necessarily technicians. And I love that, and that's probably why your daughter can do it. Um, I actually would think that a lot of kids would be using this stuff because, what is it, Twitch? I don't know if you know Twitch, but Twitch is a gaming community. It's live
Yeah.
streaming gaming community where they do a lot of screen capture stuff. With that being so popular, this is just something that I feel like everybody needs to know how to do screen capture. And for a lot of the community that might be here today, and again, this was very impromptu. So those who are here, thank you for coming and clearing up maybe a quick schedule. Uh, I use ScreenFlow for capturing my presentations, because then I take those presentations that are now in MP4, and then I put them into Easy Webinar. I put them into the webinar platform that now streams them out in real time. And so if you are using the automated aspect of Easy Webinar, you're going to want to create presentations that are video. And the best way to do that is to use screen capture software to do it. A lot of what some people do is they create a GoToWebinar and they record the GoToWebinar, and then they use that MP4. But what generally happens is that MP4, it's a little fuzzy. It just doesn't look as good. And I would always say, don't use that necessarily. And the other thing is that for a Google Hangout, YouTube automatically records this, but sometimes you might want to, if for some reason this is over 2 hours, YouTube won't let you edit this out. And because of that fact, that's why I use ScreenFlow to capture and back up everything. I want ScreenFlow there to capture everything, to back up everything, so that I can create a video later on if I need to roll it in. So if you guys are doing webinars or events and you want to do the automated stuff, ScreenFlow is perfect for it, so that you can capture your videos, capture your presentations. So if you haven't done that yet, and you haven't used Easy Webinar for the automation, start thinking about it, because not only does ScreenFlow obviously work for that, but ScreenFlow works for editing out all of your videos. Okay, your welcome videos, your thank you videos, your sales videos, any video that you create. This software is perfect for it. And what Jules is doing here is he's actually making it. He's actually taking you through the process of not what exactly each aspect is, but when you would use it. I think that's a very powerful aspect of it. It's not just how to do this and that, but it's when would you use it and why would you use it. Okay, because that's what we all want answers to. We want to know, okay, when would I do this, and should I do this? So you're learning from someone who's an expert at video editing and expert at direction, artistic direction as well. So you're getting not only just this, here's how you do this, but you get the artistic direction around it as well, which is a very invaluable asset to have. That's the reason. Even if you've gone through Screenflow yourself, it's this course is going to open your eyes to newer things that you probably didn't even know you could do, and when you should do those things. That's the key to it, and that's what I've noticed. So, and
Yeah, it's
that's
interesting. What's been great for me about this course is seeing people, take it to the next level, and sort of, I can see a bit of a Screenflow hero style emerging from the people that have been through the course, and that to me is pretty cool, because I love that when people, because I show you really over my shoulder, and I've never done the course before where I literally show you every single step. I've been on some courses where they seem to miss out something, and you're left there thinking, oh, but how did they get to that point? There's something missing. I literally did the whole thing. I've also edited it down as well, not to make it drag on and on, but everything, every single step's in there. And I see people, and I say in the course, just copy, and I see the same kind of background, or I tell you what kind of fonts look really good on screen and how to add a little bit of style into your videos, and I can see that influence. And I get people send me their videos and say, hey, I'm so pleased, I've just made this video, check it out on my Squeeze page, or check it out here. And I go there and I can see this influence, and I really love that. And I feel that their videos are definitely better through having gone through the course. They may have, as you said before, no Screenflow, but the videos would be very flat. They'd be just like a static screen capture with a bit of curly font on it that looks like it came from, the Middle Ages,
right.
curly sort of thing. And it just wouldn't be cool. For want of a better word, it just wouldn't be cool. By freshening it up, making it a bit more modern, very much like these higher end videos. If you watch any of the big launches, online launches, they're using big teams to create their videos, and those videos are exciting. They're great to look at. They're great to watch, and they feel stylish, right? They feel a little bit like watching a TV show sometimes. So my aim is to, if you already know Screenflow, is to take you from that kind of basic level just up 3 steps up, so that your videos sort of do look a lot cooler. They look a lot more professional, and people will respond to them in a better way, really.
Yeah, and that's and it really takes to speed up your learning curve. This course is the thing that's going to help you with that. I had to kind of go through this process of just editing a ton of videos and figured out, what I would do, or what the best thing was for me. Even now, though, things that I do right now, I do certain things in Screenflow that I could probably save a lot of time by doing what Jules is showing, because I tend to, if I do a cut and I need to move everything over to that cut, there are certain things that I do that take forever. Like sometimes, some of us will just move these different module pieces over and over and over. And video editing can if you don't know what you're doing when you're actually editing the video, like, you can understand kind of the concepts of it, but if you don't have, like, know the hotkeys and things like that for editing a video, your video editing could literally take probably 6 hours compared to 1 hour, let's say. I would use that. I'd say like a 1:6 ratio. If you know everything there is to know, and you create sort of this template in your head, then you could reuse that over and over again and speed up your process. That's a problem that I seem to have. Video editing takes forever for me, and that's because I don't go in and learn all the nuances that I need to know. And so that's what I kind of appreciate, that these are things that you're showing. These are things that you're providing people, kind of faster ways of being able to edit their videos. So
absolutely, that's shortcuts. I mean, what I really love about this is you get this bit of software, and how to use it better. How to learn the tricks, the hacks, how to get maximum out of it. It's a very inexpensive bit of software, really, for what you can get. I mean, the return on it is ridiculous. If you're selling any kind of products or info products or whatever, the return on Screenflow is absolutely incredible. But learning how to speed it up, because one thing that we don't have a lot of as entrepreneurs is time, right? So anything that can speed up your time, and often when you launch yourself into a new software, you just sort of get the hang of it, and you don't go that further step. You don't try and think about the the shortcuts, the different ways of speeding up the process. You just sort of get on a certain level and you think, wow, this is taking a long time, but you never get enough time to figure out how to improve it. What I've done is, apart from the core training where I take you through how to make videos like I do, step by step, I've also got another section where I'm putting these little tips and tricks. And as people have emailed me and said, how do I do this? Or any way I could do this better, I've actually put in some extra little videos, very short videos, talking about 2.5 to 6 minute videos, where I actually show you some of these little tips and tricks and hacks that a lot of people who are using Screenflow totally have no idea about. So I think if you can get the core section going for you and then just learn 10 or 12 of these extra little tips, that can really gonna improve your videos and also improve the speed that it takes to actually make them.
That to me is is absolutely incredible. Like that you are a lot of people, what they'll do, guys, when they create a course is they'll create the course and that's that. But what Jules is doing is every time someone has a question about, hey, is there a way to speed this up or do this or do that? He's responding by creating these little nuggets of videos that are speeding up your process. These are shortcut videos. This is amazing to me because that is worth, well, obviously it's worth the price of admission right there, because that means that's actual like one-on-one support to a degree. It's like responding to an issue that someone is having and creating a video about it. I mean that to me is above and beyond. And on top of the fact that you're offering 28 days of actual email support for each person that comes through the course itself, that's incredible. So guys, just so you're aware, when you come through, you have 28 days of email support. You can email Jules. I thought it was a lot of time to be committed from Jules himself, but he's the type of guy that will put that commitment in. And also just the video aspect that you're creating these small little shortcut videos that are essentially catered to the questions that people have specifically. That's big time. And for those who don't know, if you're not in Screenflow Hero yet, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's a $97 course itself. I'd say course continued membership almost, because of the fact that he's doing so much for you, not only just learning about Screenflow, but being able to help you personally with each and every one of your questions. And as I mentioned, we have $1,100 worth of bonuses that are expiring at midnight tonight Pacific Standard. And by coming in now, you get those bonuses. One of the bonuses, if you're now coming on, one of those bonuses is my thank you page video that I'm going to be giving you guys. So you can take that MP4 and put it into your Easy Webinar thank you pages, so that now you have a video that will essentially tell people what they should be doing on that page and why. And that helps for getting conversions, for getting more viral traffic coming to your actual webinars, and it sets the stage up for you to make a one-on-one connection with your audience, and that they're going to be learning something, and brings them to the actual event, because they could download a free gift, they can start absorbing. If they like your content, they're going to want to learn more. So that's one of the bonuses. Another bonus is my YouTube series on how to become a YouTube partner and how to use clickable annotations in your videos, which is really powerful, because Screenflow is great because, as I mentioned in the beginning of this hangout, you can create these little video thumbnails right inside your video. So a video inside a video. If I went to like over here and said, click this video right here, and that video could take you into your website, into an opt-in page. And that's direct response at its finest. And to be able to use Screenflow Hero with what I'm teaching about how to become a YouTube partner, how to add clickable links in your videos, this will drive traffic back into your website. Okay, that's the power of this. And that's the power of using an editing software like Screenflow and learning from Jules, who's going to show you how to do all those things. Screenflow Hero, you'll learn how to go like this and click a button and have the button show up, or even have it, kind of, get big, get small again, these different video actions. It's incredible stuff that you can do, and it really is a way that you can get as I mentioned, direct response from video, because that is the name of the game. We're marketers, right? We're marketing our products. The idea is that we want to get people to click on to come back to our site. That's the name of the game. Remember, you're putting content on the web to come back to your site, okay? So YouTube is a great source for that, clearly, all right? And by being able to understand editing software like this, now your videos can keep people there. They're more attractive. They're more interested to watch. And by having clear and concise call to actions, by what Jules was talking about in terms of this chaptering out, you're really understanding how really to get more community members essentially. So that's a pretty powerful tool. That's a very powerful bonus that we're rolling in. They just seem to go hand in hand. And what were the other bonuses? Let me see here. Another bonus was, well, as we already mentioned, is Jules' 911 emergency email support for 28 days. And then I'm just looking at my computer here. I'm going to do a one-time event for those who come in. Okay, this is for those who pick up the course. We're going to do a one-time event to show you how to, excuse me, capture a webinar, and then how you produce the webinar MP4 and roll it into Easy Webinar on the size of the video that it should be, so that it's perfect for Easy Webinar. Okay, so that's another bonus that we're rolling in. All these bonuses are about $1,100. And right now the course is only $97, and you get the bonuses with the course itself, and that expires tonight at midnight Pacific Standard. So if you haven't picked up the course yet, I highly suggest that you do. It's a pretty powerful course. It's only going to help you in your editing. It's only going to help you in your business essentially. So I'm going to read off some things that people are saying in the room itself. Lisa Preston says she owns Final Cut Pro as well. Is Screenflow somehow better? But Lisa, I think you also mentioned that you are, excuse me, you said, I always have video questions, Casey, but I'm such a beginner. I'm just absorbing as much as I can before starting. Here's the thing. If you have Final Cut Pro, I would suggest not jumping directly into Final Cut Pro if you're a beginner. Jump into Screenflow. Screenflow is the easiest to use, and to me it does everything I need a Final Cut Pro to do. In fact, I don't touch Final Cut Pro. That's just, I don't touch it. I don't have it because I know what I want to use. Because I can roll in video content. I can roll in DSLR video clips, as Jules mentioned. I can roll in any video clip in there and start editing. So not only the screen capture stuff, but the videos that I shoot on my iPhone, the videos that I shoot on my DSLR camera, the conference videos that I shoot, anything, a little interview here and there, that all that can be edited within Screenflow, and that's what Jules shows you. So I would suggest definitely yes. If you have a Mac and you're interested in video, pick up Screenflow Hero. And then, of course, you're going to have to get Screenflow. Just so you're aware, Screenflow Hero does not come with Screenflow, the software itself. Okay? Some of you already have Screenflow, but it's just sitting there, not doing anything. Just go get Screenflow Hero, learn how to use it, and start using that instead of some of the more advanced stuff like Final Cut Pro. That would be my suggestion. And yes, so to answer the question, Screenflow does not come with Screenflow Hero. And now some people are asking about Camtasia and sort of the differences. And does Camtasia? I kind of wanted to address this. People are like, so should I get Camtasia or Screenflow? And Screenflow, does it only work for Mac, Jules?
Yeah, Screenflow's only for Mac. Camtasia, you can get Camtasia for PC or Mac.
Right. And I have used it for both PC and Mac. If you have a Mac, Camtasia is not the one you want. The bottom line. That's the bottom line. I've used Camtasia. For Mac, it doesn't have the intuition that Screenflow has, in my opinion. For PC, Camtasia, obviously, if you have a PC, you're not leaving PCs. That's fine. If you are someone who has both Mac and PC, I would suggest editing on your Mac, grabbing Screenflow, and picking up Screenflow Hero. That would be the perfect equation, in my opinion. I have a PC. I do all of my editing on my Mac computer. That's what I use now. That's just it's my preference. I feel like it just flows a bit better. That's what I like. So if you're like me and you like that, you like the just kind of that upgraded feeling but simplistic. That's why I suggest going with Screenflow Hero. So let's see what else we have. So Luis is saying, Jules is a master. I feel like a complete noob and now have taken apart every video I've done and begun remaking them quickly. Some of them I just totally scrapped. So it looks
Awesome.
like Luis just totally scrapped some of his videos.
Well,
Um,
we want to see them. That'd be great to see them. But going back to what you're saying, yeah, I
yeah,
totally agree. Like with something like Final Cut, I mean, there might be occasions when I might use that. If I was doing like long documentaries with like hundreds of hours of footage, then managing lots of video footage, of course, you're going to go for a more specialist video software. But a lot of us, and I spend a lot of time looking at people's videos. We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're doing quick responsive videos. We've got a webinar coming up on Friday. We've got an hour. We want to make a video to promote it, or we want to make one YouTube video a week. We've only got like a few hours to get it done. So, and then when we do our videos, a lot of people, what we're doing is we are capturing our Facebook pages and showing some tips, social media tips. If you happen to be in the coaching line of things, you're showing your jacket of your book cover. You're showing inside your membership area. What we're doing is these fast hybrid videos where we want to integrate screen capture, talking heads. We want a bit of text to jump in and jump out, an arrow to pop in and pop out, all
yep,
mixed in. And on something like Final Cut or Premiere, they're not screen capture software. You'd have to go and capture the screen and then figure out the best way to capture it and then import it into the video editor, and hopefully it plays smoothly, and is it the right resolution, is it going to look sharp, and then get used to the interface. With this, it's basically been able to drag everything onto the timeline. And I'm a Mac person. I rarely touch a PC, only when I'm forced to. But what I can do, with Screenflow is I can drag something, for example, from my iPhoto. I can pick the photos from iPhoto and drag them onto the Screenflow timeline without any import.
yeah. See,
Um,
that's incredible. That saves you so much time.
Yeah, yeah. That imports it into your project, so it's all held within the Screenflow project. So if you ever to move it, it takes it with it. But literally, you can drag the photos, you can pull something from your desktop into it. So that I love that the Mac side of things, just because of flicking between different programs. Like the iPhoto, maybe you use Photoshop Elements or some photo processing software. You can literally pick things up or snap things off your screen and drag it. I show how to do that. Snap it off the screen and drag it straight into ScreenFlow. So really, it's this kind of melting pot where you can bring all these elements. As for Camtasia, I have experimented with it on the Mac, and it can do a job. I'm not massively experienced with it, but for sure it can do a job. I find that the majority of people that I deal with, online entrepreneurs, marketers, Macpreneurs, people I talk to, they all seem to be in the majority using ScreenFlow. And as we said, it's because of the interface, and I guess because of some of the training that's out there.
No, I mean, I've used Camtasia for Mac, but to me, and I'm telling you, to me, it just didn't have that same feel. I mean, it was probably a year and a half ago that I actually used it. Maybe it's changed a bit, but to me, I feel like my video editing sped up tremendously as soon as I started using ScreenFlow, just because, as you said, it's like lean and quick. I don't create 2 hour long videos. I mean, if it's a webinar and I'm doing screen capture for a webinar and I have to put that in, yeah, I'll use ScreenFlow to capture the hour and a half long webinar and then edit it out maybe a little bit and then pop it in. But generally speaking, I'm using it for lean, short videos, 5 to 10 minute long videos that I plan on. I shoot the footage, I roll it in, and just quickly try to churn something out, put it in a blog post, use it as content that filters back customers essentially, or community members. So that's how we would use it. I mean, again, as I said, it's a lean, quick solution that has that is really about user interface and really about making it simple for you. That's what I really love about it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
cool.
totally. And I think what's interesting is that it's becoming critical, like to online business. You and me know that video is absolutely crucial, and therefore, video editing is this huge part of the process. To go from shooting this thing or capturing, you can't avoid the fact that often, most time, many times, not always, but many times, you need to do some editing to get to pub before you publish it, particularly if you're doing slightly more polished, like sales videos or you're making info products. We haven't talked about that. You're creating engaging training for your info products. It's got to go through some kind of editing process. So it's a huge thing. It's as important as learning to do word processing was, a few years back. In the age of just text, everything text based, learning to do, use a word processing software, that was important. Well, right now, learning to use an editing software is crucial.
Yeah, I mean that's where we're at. We are at this point where, I feel like everybody is learning so many new things. It's the for instance, like live streaming with Google Hangouts wasn't popular last year. It was something that was, or a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it was something that was too new. But now you see so many people doing it because they're also teaching themselves how to do it. And so that speed of absorption of knowledge, it can be applied anywhere. So being able to edit video, because we're in this information age where visually we always are editing something. Instagram, we're editing, always doing something creative. It's almost like everybody is getting to a point where they should have some of these skills, and it's not difficult to retain these skills. You just have to go and find the right person to learn from. Um, so with that said, everybody, here's Jules, and I appreciate that you came on today, Jules. And again, everyone, you can pick up the bonuses till the end of the day, midnight. I just sent out an email. In the email, excuse me, it talks about how you can get the bonuses, and you just go, and what you're supposed to do afterwards. As soon as you purchase the course, you're going to go back to the help desk, and the link is inside the email, and just simply show your receipt. And then after this, after the bonus promotion is over, I'm gonna send out the bonuses to everybody, just so you're aware. Okay. So you come in now, the bonuses will be coming at the end of this week. All right. So, but again, there's probably less than 12 hours now. I think there's 11 and a half hours now to still pick up Screenflow Hero. And if you haven't jumped in there, please do so. Jump in. You can, obviously, if you're on this page, some of you have already come in, and everybody's raving about it. It's just a really awesome course, and it's a no-brainer if you either are doing any video editing, if you're marketing, if you have a Mac, and if you have Screenflow already, you're not using it optimally. Come in and grab Screenflow Hero and start really picking up those pieces and learning how to really implement it really well. So that's what I suggest to everybody. I'll put the link in here again. This is for my page where you can kind of learn more about the bonuses. However, this is not necessarily once you come in there, there's a link to say purchase the product. You go into this page, then click on the yellow button that says purchase, and it'll bring you into Jules' page that's specifically designed for me. So let me just put this back in. Screenflow Hero. Okay. Post comment. There we go. And that's about it. So if you haven't come through again, this is the last day to do it. And Jules, I just want to thank you for offering this up to the community, as well as coming on today and just sharing a bit of this content. I'm a big video dork. Similar to you, probably kind of have dorkdom in us about video, and so we could probably talk about video and the cool factor of video and what we see as this evolution of what video is doing, probably for 4 hours. We don't have that much time. I know Jules has to get back to work. I have another event that I'm doing in an hour, literally. So I'm going to just say thank you to Jules. Thank you to those who came on this very impromptu, very on the fly event, and I'll probably post this video on the actual page for Screenflow Hero page that we have up, so that if people wanted to watch it, they could watch it and understand what kind of what we're talking about here. So Jules, again, thanks so much, man. I
Yeah,
really
no,
appreciate you coming by.
no. Thanks very much for inviting me on, and offering fabulous bonuses. To be honest, it's like no one's ever offered that many bonuses towards this, and I'm suggesting you pick it up now, even if you're going to park it for a few weeks and maybe come back to it. I mean, I'd rather you go straight into it, but even if you're going to
Right.
get it now and you're a bit busy right now, you're going to come back to it in 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. It's just worth getting it now, because as I've said earlier, I am adding little bits into it, and I've already had 1,000 people go through it already, and it's
Brilliant.
not that older course. So
Yeah.
it's a huge hit. I can see it spreading everywhere. So I'm suggesting that get it now with the bonuses. You also get, as you mentioned, this 28-day email support. So which is really cool, because if you get stuck on something and you're editing a video and you get stuck, you can literally just and Casey, if you go through Casey support, they'll send you like an email address, a specific private secret email address. You can just send me an email and I'll pick it up as soon as I can, and I'll just give you some really short, sharp attention to what you're doing, what your stumbling block is. So it's totally crazy, really. So I do suggest, yeah, it'd be great to see you guys inside. But thanks very much for inviting me on.
Yeah, of course. So you can see, guys, Jules is top of the line. He is everywhere. You can see everybody will always talk awesomely about Jules. This is a premium course for a no-brainer price, and we wanted just to make it the bonus is available to you. We wanted to make this this knowledge available to you, and then of course you can obviously take advantage of that of the email support, which is huge. It's more important for you to take action. That's why the price is kind of extremely low. I think the price is a bit too low, frankly, Jules. But I
Yeah,
think
probably.
for what Jules is doing and for what you guys are getting, it's really it's the time to take advantage of it. And again, as he said, if you need to park it for a little bit, but come back to it because it's always being added to anyway. So even if you come to it a month from now, 2 months from now, Jules will have new videos in there, new content in there that will help you out. So it's good stuff. I only bring the best to you. Remember this. I'm only bringing the best people to you. Jules is the best people. Okay.
Both of me.
So if you haven't come through yet. Come through now, and we're gonna end this broadcast. And thank you again, Jules, so much for the time for coming and sharing this hour.
Cool.
Okay.
Speak again.
We'll see you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.